Seo ac over in mi lem hennes lem hennever an an nuigiti céirfi a hoch is charomiach a táiseachug gaelig iúnsachug an nuarat agus choraverach sa gaelig ac am siúta seo agus hará tain cleachtar bhí brin na gaelig ró ríic fatúne bhór leis sin a choraverach ach go héin chuideach roinnat me. Seo médi agus genelik meach gechin a brain a heinig.
Yeah, go ahead.
Kajak under wij toch aan de boel. Toch een toets gaan naar de boel. En dus wij is het doel krijgen. Alle mozer met de kerf Fiat kaartje misschien. En dan ga je gaan naar de boel op de grootste eten. Dus die gaan je alle mozer zo. En je alle mozer zo weet je. En dan zie je de zorg. De zorg taaien door gelezen. All houses, you know.
Yeah.
That all good too.
Okay.
The woman, she was, they were going to take her on a trip, you know, to a city.
Mm.
And they called it the beach farm, you know. When she went there, she didn't like it at all. She said that was no beach farm, that it was a big city with nothing but houses.
Oh, yeah. Do you know who the woman was?
Huh?
Do you know who the woman was?
No, just a story.
Yeah, that's good.
Neil said, and Judy got a wife.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When was that?
Oh, that was years and years ago.
Mm.
You could see them swimming right underneath the wife. They were big, you know.
Yeah.
You could get a wire, you know, make a loop and with a stick and put it there and get it over their nose like that. Pull
Yeah.
them out. Yeah.
Get many of them?
Oh, I got a few of them.
Yeah. Who was with you?
It was Leo Campbell.
Yeah. From Juddy.
Yeah.
He be your cousin?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
And did you used to chase the girls?
Huh?
Did you used to chase the girls?
No, there was no girls down there. That was at the watch. So,
I guess you put a little, added on a little bit.
No, no. You were telling me when you were young you'd be going to school. You used to have the snares.
Was it eels?
You used to have-
oh, yes, the lamper eels.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
The lamper eels. Oh, God, yes. We used to get them with wire, you know.
Yeah.
And you take them out to the water and you'd get a flat stone and you'd put the snout on it like that.
Yeah.
And let the snout go and
Stuck on it.
hold right onto the
Yeah.
stone and never let it go.
Yeah. And you used to chase the girls with those?
No, no.
Yes, you did.
You were telling that then.
Oh, there was a few of them came up in our brook, right below the house, and I killed them of it.
Yeah.
With the stones, you know. The water was a deep.
Is that right? Yeah.
Yeah, big stones it smashed them.
So I could Mohana. Do you know Shira how?
I mean, take feet to see ya.
Catch and Drakadu.
Huh?
Catch and Drakadu.
Rook me on and Glendale and Sabrai.
No, it's fine. What is it? Is that the old way to say Glendale? That's a Brai.
I think so, yeah.
Mhm.
I think no.
Okay. You have any stories of when you were growing up just as a young fella? You tell any in Gaelic?
No.
Tell about when you'd be getting the rabbits for your mother.
Rabbits.
Yeah. When you'd be getting the cows.
Oh,
Or
yes.
the rabbits, right?
Partridge, was it?
What did you get to get?
I used to go for the cows up at Alex Smith's, you know. And I had a 22. And the rabbits were awful platted and big.
Yeah.
Kill them, then get them in the head and make one scream jump up like that, and then they were dead. Yeah, no, there were plenty then.
And did you like the rabbits yourself?
Huh?
Did you like the rabbits yourself?
No, I was just selling them, you know.
Yeah.
You could sell them.
Your mother make them?
Even the dog used to get them,
Yeah?
kill them and bring them home.
Yeah. So they're
You know,
pretty...
I remember one time I was working in the woods cutting fir, and the dog followed me. He went across the Trans-Canada. And the first thing I knew, I was walking, and this rabbit just ran right between my two legs. I had the power saw.
Yeah.
And I looked behind and I see the dog just coming like that, like chasing the rabbit. He got a hold of him too.
Yeah.
Killed him. I don't know how he was killing him. But
What about the partridge? Did your mother like the partridge?
oh yes, yeah.
Hmm.
Oh, the partridge were awful plenty. I remember when I used to go for the cows up on the mountain.
That's what you should be telling Gabe.
Huh? Oh, it's hard for me to say that in jail.
You can tell this part in English.
And I had a 410. No, at first I had a 16 gauge. And when I'd come onto a bunch of them, you know, I used to spine them. It was too powerful.
Yeah, yeah.
And then I got rid of that and traded. It was Danar that Rolling that gave me the 16 gauge. I bought it from him. And I sold it and I got a 410 gauge. And that was a dandy for the back.
Yeah.
You wouldn't spine them at all.
Yeah.
Hugh McCahan from Boston. He went up to the foot of the mountain. Oh, that would be in the 20s.
Yeah.
And he came back and he had 25 partridge.
That's right.
There were that plenty then.
Just hunting them around that spot.
Oh, just up between there, the old place and the foot of the mountain.
Is that right?
Yeah. Of course, there was hardwood there and smooth.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, there were plenty then, but they're not plenty today. Whatever happened?
Hmm. And they go in cycles too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Some people were saying that it was the fox that was killing the little baby rabbits.
Yeah, yeah. Can you tell any stories about?
Your life on the farm.
Yeah. Could you tell any about growing up on the farm and just in Gaelic? Any funny things happened to you, or even just the regular stuff you do during the day and your chores and that?
I'll toss on Howry. Name it to you with you in the fancy. I was an ocean. There'll be a Fiat Carrart, gave it to you. Mowing machine Heinz. Fiat, Jaren, alles. Een ocean, de goede station now.
Not at you. Not at you.
I was an ocean, toss a gegeven. Jij moet dan ja gewoon weer jaren zo goed. Hij was een hoogschraag. Hij was nog een week. De jou raakte te staan in jou. Hij was fijn. Molen saal in de ocean. Hij was zo. Jaren zo. En gewoon naar vlog en skasplatten. Hij was kan gewoon een kachel staan aan een beeld en zo. Så har man köra. That's not bad.
You didn't tell about the planting.
Hmm?
You didn't tell about the planting. You jumped to the hay.
Tell about the planting now.
Well,
All that had to be done this in the spring. Shear in the sheep.
You join in too. You join in too and tell too. Seriously.
Don't be cheating the gun.
well, I'll tell you about the year we planted the wheat, but I can't tell that in Gaelic.
No, tell it in English then.
We planted that. I just forget how many pounds of We planted wheat. And then when we got it threshed in the fall, we got 15 barrels of wheat.
Eh?
And that was shipped to Antigonish to the Sylvan Valley mills. And it was ground into flour.
For yourselves or to sell
I
to?
don't know how many barrels of flour we got, but we got bags of bran, shorts and middlings and everything.
Yeah?
Yeah.
And what about, how would you be threshing it? By hand?
No, the threshing mill.
Yeah, you had the threshing mill.
Yeah.
Did you have that yourselves or?
No, threshing mill goes around from house to house.
Oh, who else was in on the threshing mill? Just everyone in the area? Or?
One
well.
person owned the threshing mill.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah.
And people from the area used to, just like the sawmill,
Yeah.
they used to go around from house to house
Yeah.
in that area.
How'd the threshing mill work? How did it work?
Well, it was run by an engine, you know.
Oh, yeah?
First it was a horsepower.
They had the horse on the track, would they?
Yes,
Yeah.
2 horses and then walking. You
Yeah,
know,
yeah.
On the thing. That was driving the mill.
And when did they get rid of the horses?
Oh, that years ago.
Yeah.
Then they got an engine and they were running with that. And you were driving the wheat or the grain right through. There's a big cylinder, you know. Going
Yeah.
like that. It was ripping it all off and the straw was going out on the end and the oats was coming out in the spout and you were watching that and putting it in a bag.
Yeah.
Oats or wheat or whatever it was.
Would it take long to run a bunch through?
Oh, well, it would take the best part of the day, you know, to trash all you had.
Yeah.
If you had the 8 or 10 loads of grain, that would be a lot, you know,
Yeah,
to go through the mill.
Would you do that in a day?
Oh, yes.
Yeah?
Oh,
That's pretty good, though. And what about? Can you tell in Gaelic how you'd be just the hay making how you'd be taking her off the field and the hay with the sides and loading her? And,
I didn't have to tell that. I don't know how you'd say that. I don't think I ever heard the Gaelic of it.
Spell.
Hmm?
Wasn't
Well,
spell,
it would be a
that's-
hand sight.
Yeah.
Oh, no, I wouldn't call that.
Well,
Hmm?
sounded like you were cutting hay with spell bake.
Yeah, that's a hand sight.
Yeah, and spell those with that.
I think the mowing machine would be mower.
Mower.
Yeah.
I'll tell that.
yeah, tell a story about how you're taking the hay off after the hay grows. How you're taking her off the field.
Yeah, jag gärna mower. Annars mower got hösseln rake. Som blir en raking machine.
Mm.
Annars mower som när vi got till dem. Jag fick så till raken. Törstar vad stod han här. Törstar vad i en drögvaken. Let fishing machine.
It's good.
You get that?
Yeah.
Annars ring med i och koppla sig skriva en väg.
You'd be working at
Jag står ju vad.
what is it? You'd be working at what?
Sleeping bake.
What's
A
that?
little work.
Yeah.
You should have said sleep on gold.
Huh?
Should have said sleep on gold instead of raking machine.
I remember Mom telling me about when Angus T was in charge of the hay, and he used to want to make sure it was nice and clean off the field, so that Mom and Nelson would have to be going with the rakes to get her up. And she was saying that you kept saying that whenever Angus T would be too old to go into the hay field, they wouldn't have to do it then. She said the first summer that he wasn't feeling well and he wasn't coming down to the hay field, they thought they'd get out of doing the raking, and then you said, oh, am I supposed to rake her up anyway so they look good from the road? You remember that? No?
I suppose, yeah. Well, yes, around the edge of the road, yeah, but there was a lot of places we used to make with the hand sight.
Yeah,
Whenever he wasn't able to do it, I never used to bother with it.
yeah.
And old marshes and damn places.
Oh,
like
yeah,
that.
yeah. Like to clean her all off.
No good, you know. No.
Well, you just like to do that for the looks, is it?
That down below the house too, solid dry stuff.
Yeah.
The devil to cut that.
What will you mostly be growing, Timothy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Clover.
Clover too, Can you tell any stories about whenever yourself and was it Archie went hunting the deer at night?
Huh?
Who was it went with you hunting the deer at night over towards
Oh, Archie. John Robert.
St. Robert? Yeah. Can you tell that in Gaelic?
I don't think I ever
heard it, but I can't remember it.
Name in English.
Yeah, that's okay.
Huh?
Ian the rabbit.
I mean, see, I can no go out to walk on camera, no issue. In the fair, you can just tell you, see, that was. Mr. Sorry. Dan dragen ze in de loon, die dragen naar de wilis haas kastarach. Hij was saus te bejaken. Hij was naar de hikke wat te steunen. Dat met een marag is brood. Hij was naar zo hier het houden, hij was hoe was in koosach. Hij was ook een tjoes, dood je wel nog veel. Hij was zeer nieuw. Saus, cheese in thee houden. Hij wist saus was veel, die aan de zenappers. Ook weer een reis van Lagos, hoe er dat viel. Hij was ook zijn veel gasten zijn. Hij was ook zijn nulaas. Hij was gewoon zijn rotet in je koos. Hij zei dat het was veel geld in dat. Waar is de versie? Hoe ze in dienst? Hij was hoe ze zeer kwaad voor nog een jaar had. Hij was juist in een dienst. Zo nou, hij was ook zijn haasje te worden nog een jaar en zoek zijn jaar in Gouwen. Beetje beraken. Turn that on, see how this is happening.
Okay.
Yeah, in the olden times, you get that? In
Yeah.
the olden times, there were all log houses, you know.
Yeah.
And there was moss between the logs. So anyway, this old woman died, you see. And in them days, you know, first they used to put them on boards, the barrel at each end, you know, the boards. They used to put them on there and put a sheet around them. So those two guys, I guess they were full of the tricks anyway. And what did they do? But they went and put a rope in between the two of the logs in the house, you know, when they got a chance. And they tied the rope around the dead woman, you know. And they were outside, you know, in the dining room or wherever the women were looking at the remains, you know. There was a bunch of them there. Now, God, after a while, the dead woman started coming up off the board. At the last of it, she was sitting up. And they all made for the door right quick. They used to do that.
Yeah.
Oh, they were awful in them days.
Yeah?
They do anything.
Who doesn't want to remember what it is?
Yeah, I suppose it's you.
Yeah.
I think I heard that expression.
Yeah.
Somebody made that.
Yeah. He was good for the stories.
Yes, yeah. Old Hugh would be good.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
He got
Yes, and he's got the Gaelic good, you know.
Is that right? Yeah.
Oh, God.
Well, he always spoke to them at home in Gaelic. You
Yeah.
know, his father and mother. And different to me, I always spoke English, and they spoke English to me.
Yeah.
But I picked up some Gaelic by hearing them talk.
Oh, you mean your parents spoke English to you?
Oh, yes.
Oh, is that right?
Oh, hey, yes.
Oh, I didn't know that.
But they spoke Gaelic to themselves, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
Rather
And that's how you got it.
but English to us.
Oh, I didn't know. Oh, I thought they spoke. Well, how about your people, then?
The same.
Look at them now,
Okay.
you McGinnis, you know, Jesse name McGinnis, brother.
Yeah.
Well, Sandy the Masons, they always spoke Gaelic.
Yeah.
In the house. And when they're out, the first day he went to school, he didn't have one word of English.
Mm.
And when he got home, he gave them help that didn't teach him English. He was dumb, he couldn't say nothing.
Yeah.
He learned it though.
Yeah.
In school, yeah.
What was it? What was it he said to the girls whenever they were going to school with him? They spoke to him in Gaelic.
Yeah.
What did he say back to them? He said it in Gaelic, didn't he?
Yeah.
Do you remember?
Well, he said to his mother and father when he came home that first day was one of it. Son of the Jimse should be was.
What's that?
Why didn't you learn me some English?
Yeah.
Yeah. And when he'd be talking with the girls, you know, he'd be telling them, when they'd be talking Gaelic to him, you know, speak English to me.
Yeah.
That's the way he picked it up.
Wanted to learn that way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh God, he was great at school.
Mm-hmm.
Well, there was a fellow.
Here when he was down.
There was
No.
a fellow brought up at Duncan Allen's. He was from the States. Leo Worcester was his name.
Mhm.
Well, of course, Duncan and Maggie, they used to speak English to him, you know. They
Yeah.
both had English. But they always used to speak Gaelic themselves to each other. And be damned if he didn't learn the Gaelic.
Is that right?
He learned it, yeah.
How old was he when he was being brought up there?
He was going to school in Glendale. He went to school when Leo Cameron was at Opus. They both went to school in Glendale.
For a few years?
Huh?
For quite a few years? Or?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, I don't know how long.
Oh, I don't know.
Leo was at Opus for a while. I forget how long.
Couple of years.
Yeah, I guess so. But anyway, this Leo Worcester went back to the States. And in 10 years' time, he came back to Duncan Allen's to see them.
Hmm.
And he had the Gaelic just as good as ever.
Didn't lose it at all.
And he never spoke one word of it when he was up in the States. There was nobody there who could speak it that
Yeah.
he knew.
Honest to God.
You never forget it
Yeah.
when you learn it.
That's
When
right.
He was that anxious to learn it.
Well, he was interested.
Yeah,
A lot of people forget it.
oh,
Could he tell it in Gaelic?
But the pig milk. It's easy enough to say pig.
Well, yeah.
Coming through the fields, weren't you?
we were coming over from Lafayette.
Come from Williams.
Huh?
Come from Duncan Allen's or Williams. I think it's a lot of cameras you saw the pig, wasn't it?
Yeah, and the little path coming over.
Yeah.
The black pig. I was in the black pig, and I said, look out there, the black pig, I was going to catch you.
Well, tell that in Gaelic then.
Oh, yeah, I can't tell it.
Ah,
Oh, well,
that's
that-
simple enough to tell.
Well, I was just looking, we couldn't see no black pig, but I did. And, well, 1 year in the Glendale, you could buy a pig, you know, with black and white, you know,
Hmm.
spots. But this one was all black, whether it was a real pig or what, I don't know.
Yeah. Was he following you?
Yeah, I came right after us,
Is that right?
a little path.
Did he go between you?
I know he came behind me and I seen him. And I moved to one side and I said to Angus, look out, Angus, go and grab you. And Angus was looking, he didn't see a pig yet.
Yeah. Was it big or?
No, just an ordinary pig, you know.
Yeah.
Somebody was telling you were listening. Of Michael Chisholm.
Yes,
In a wagon.
yeah, but I wouldn't put it on that.
No. Why not? Okay, go down.
Two fellows went to a house one night where they were selling moonshine. And one of the fellows went into the house for the moonshine. And the other fellow that was sitting down in the wagon, something came and just picked him right up, landed him on his back on the ground, and he couldn't move out of that. And then he said, Jesus, Mary, and Joseph, help me. And when he said that, whatever it was went off him, and he got up. The other fellow came back out of the house, you know. He didn't get any moonshine.
Yeah. That was in Glendale. Yeah.
But anyway, the guy told him, for God's sakes, let's get out of here quick now. There's something around here that isn't very good.
Yeah.
So they both pulled out. So wish yourself at night.
Never wish yourself?
With anybody.
What do you mean?
Well, how will I put it? Now you take, for instance, if you went to a house, or say you and I went to a house and there were two girls there.
Yeah.
We were walking and we left at night. And they wished from the bottom of their heart to be with us, you know?
Yeah.
We'd see their ghost.
Is that right?
Oh God, yes. And if we'd ever speak to them, they'd tear us all to pieces.
Is that right?
Yeah, but if you see the ghost of a dead person, even if you speak to them, they'll never harm you.
Yeah, yeah. But what?
The ghost of a live person will.
Is there any Gaelic name for the ghost of a live person?
No, I wouldn't know the Gaelic.
No.
I couldn't put it down in Gaelic, but that.
What do they call the ghost?
I know. Charlie the Villain was telling me that one time, you know.
Yeah.
He and another fellow that went to this house. There was two girls there. And when they left, on the way going home, those two girls met them. Their ghosts met them. I guess they wished to be with them or something. But Charlie said we never opened our mouths. We just kept going and got away from them.
Yeah.
We were lucky enough that we didn't talk to them, because if we had, well, maybe they would be in an awful scrap. If you missed one of them and just jump on you, they're liable to kill you unless you can take blood out of them.
Is that right?
If
Yeah.
you have if you had a pocket knife or something and get a hold of it and
Yeah.
get the blade open and make a little cut on them.
Yeah.
Okay, once they bleed, they're finished.
Yeah,
Is that right?
And that blood will be on them, on that same girl too.
On the girl at home.
Yeah.
Is that right? Holy cow.
That's an old story.
Is it ever?
That's Giselle.
Yeah.
Gishigan.
Huh?
Superstitions.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. That's good stuff.
I
Do
don't.
you have any more of that, Papa? Any more Gishigan?
No, well, that wasn't a bad one.
Oh, that's an awfully good. That's the first time I ever heard anything of that.
Huh?
That's the first time I ever heard anything like that.
That was.
That's awfully good, yeah. And what about the?
But, you know, I don't think you could ever prove that.
Oh no.
Huh?
That couldn't be proved. You
Would that be like the second sight?
No.
No. Do you have any stories on second sight?
No, yes, I have.
What do they call it in Gaelic?
No, I can't tell it in Gaelic.
No, but what do they call the second sight in Gaelic?
Yeah, I wouldn't know. Ronnie McKechnie's father up here, dead now, he was second sight.
Yeah.
And Big Eugene, the station master, he was second sight.
Do you have any stories
I
about
can't
that?
tell you a story about him, but I can't tell it to you in Gaelic.
Okay, the English is good.
On the writer that was telling the story, when Big Gene, he was from River Dennis Mountain.
Mm.
He was station master down at Boyston, wasn't he? Boyston, what Father Rankin was at Parish. And he seen the forerunner of a casket coming off the tree.
Yeah.
So anyway, he told Father Rankin. Built and Father Rankin laughed over it. And that's true, he says, you'll see that. By God, didn't Father Rankin get a phone call early in the morning about this fellow that died and wanted him to be buried in Boysdale.
Yeah.
And the remains was going to come up on the train and wanted to get the grave dug and everything so they'd have the funeral. And the remains came up.
Just
You'd seen that,
Yeah.
Double substance,
what about? Did you ever hear stories about Rennie's father?
No, I never heard of anything about it, but I heard him saying he was double substance.
Yeah.
Well, he had no record. No, he'd see a funeral. If it happened to be on the road, beforehand, he'd see it. You'd have to step to one side and let it go by.
The procession.
You or I wouldn't see it, though.
Yeah. Did you see the procession going along?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The teams and the wagons and everything.
Who was that now?
Huh?
Who was that who could see it?
John McCahan, Ronnie McCahan's father.
His father.
Dead now.
What did you call him, Ian Beck?
Yeah, no Vic, they used to call him. Called after his mother, Mo Vic.
I see.
I guess, but I can't. I mustn't mention the person.
That's okay.
One time there was a farmer. He had beautiful calves, 4 or 5. And this woman happened to be there, and he took her to see the calves. And she said, oh my God, they're beautiful and all of that. That was all right. The next morning when the man went to the bar, the calves were dead. She made the butcher.
Is that right?
Well, she eyed them,
The evil eye.
Yeah, I'd like to have them myself.
Can you say that in Gaelic? The evil eye?
No.
No. Would you know that, Grandma?
Or butcher is that. Ruddy butcher.
That's a wish.
Hmm?
Soul. Eyes. Soul.
Huh?
Soul. How do you say?
Rock soul, I guess. In the olden times, they used to make their own truck wagons, They'd go and they'd get a big hardwood log of block maple or something, and they'd saw the block right off, have it good and thick. And then they'd make a hole in it and they'd put an axle in it, and they'd make a wagon and put shafts in it and everything. So anyway, this fellow had this old guy, I don't know who he was, but he had one of them. He went down to the shore this day for a load of eelgrass. And anyway, when he took up the eelgrass and put it on the wagon and everything, I guess there was a lobster in the load of eelgrass,
Mm.
And he was going by a brook, and I guess the road was pretty handy, the horse tail. And didn't the lobster pinch? I guess he was a big lobster, didn't it pinch the horse tail? And the horse took one jump, and the wheels of the wagon, they were good anywhere. When they hit the bank, they all split and went to pieces. Alec Bear was telling the story.
Yeah.
I know my grandfather, my uncle in good, John T. Cameron. when he was fishing lobsters in his day, all he'd get was 5 cents a pound for them.
Yeah.
They were that cheap then. And pretty cheap, wasn't it?
Difference to now.
Huh?
Difference to now.
Today they're what, 275 and 350.
Mm.
I remember one time John L. McClellan and I went up to the mountain to Dalwachan there when we had used to cut hay in that place. And right along the fence there was just a string of hazelnut bushes, you know. And I told John A. this Sunday evening he was up, I told him about how plenty there were up the mountain. My God, he says, we'll go up there and I'd like to get them. They're awful good, the hazelnuts, you know. You never see them. There's kind of a shell on them, you know. It's awful woolly, it kind of stick in you, but when they get old, that will dry right up.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, anyway, we went up, Johnny and I, Johnny filled a big bag with them. You could just pick them up. There was all kinds of them left, you know. We could never pick them up. The next evening I went up for the cows, and there wasn't a damn one to be seen at all. Wherever they went that one night, I don't know.
Yeah.
Whether the fairies took them or what.
Yeah.
They disappeared anyway.
Yeah. You ever hear your parents or grandparents ever speak of the fairies?
Huh?
Did you ever hear your parents or your grandparents speak of the fairies?
Oh, yes, they'd be talking about them.
Yeah. What kind of things would they be saying about them?
Huh?
What kind of stories would they be telling?
Oh, well, now I forget, but I know they were mentioning the fairies anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Did your mother go back?
No,
Annars går det inte färdigt. Annars går det inte färdigt.
Missionary who rob in the house. Falls me in nach anders gaan niet heen. Um, 1934. I made was in het bouwen. Farm. Go 1972. I'm wasting a lot of the tape.
Don't worry about it.
A vala. We lighting. I was in a trailer. As in now for as in the noon edge of we I guess 100 on and stuff.
And you.
Yeah. I just so we of an old and me as naga as Joey van old gara was in the story. With me to talk on it was the was in Jerking. It was station for the cross. Like I said, Good Friday. Fashion though, fashion the neck was like three an afternoon. I was had a she an out at your sarnast. She done cask. Fashion though an item. So holo tonya Giche ho pilot the good in the was. She done cask. Partial you got sourcey dosan oil. So that you got the fear and fear co giche mold or eggs. Agus Virginia down Donny. Is Donny cask. Sitting at the winners. Agus hit water way. What do you say custom? Vi go holo tonya to my horse gan tau, gan thuis, gan the belchen so horse yes. Could an issue crash it again. Some like that. That me playing. Agus big picnics agus in summer. Say that. Agus we got the Virginia mow down. We got the thousands. We got the creek. Grachen.
What about the moonshine?
I don't more than after go all. I don't moonshine now and the play and you can have a mish hog. So we more than booze after. How do you say liquor? Ach, wat time daar after though. Dat Jenna back at the Erik. Van Paris to Hummelet. Kutje gevaarlijk. A collections and safaristje. Het je daar niet. Er wat de roof, ik found putting them for down een cent. Het je daar niet. Partial coke cents. Coke cents. Partial waar gaan eigenlijk toen je touw wat is een collection. Het je daar niet. En dan is het. Zijn dat het. Zijn maar wat things. Okay.
Okay, you want to tell now what would the winter evenings be like? To go back a few months.
Huh?
To go back a few months, what would you do? What would you do in the evenings in the winter?
Like a lot.
Just sewing and stuff.
I don't radio seconds, television nothing.
What about when you were young?
I don't know what we were doing. TV knitting. Quick Carson. We found that he get crowd using in time. We got the girl orange Gaelic. The brains. Jeans ski out and sweet machine. I had entertainment, did you? An entertainment in Shineen. So yeah, we made a mooi piper. And we slay back up in some coasters. Skaters. Skating.
Yeah. Okay.
That's all.
Can
I
you
put Betty on that.
can you no? I want you to give a little talk about Dougal Rob.
Out of the route.
Just about what he did for a living, community
Oh, yeah.
stuff, and also too, as far as just make like you heard the song he made.
Oh,
Just give a little telling about things like that.
the song you made for the cat.
Yeah.
So did you hear that song?
Yeah.
What's it called?
Bit of John Shaw.
Huh?
John Shaw.
I'll take it.
So just,
No, I wouldn't
just
want to say that.
no, don't worry about it.
How'd you got that tape?
No, he just remembers it himself.
Oh, we remember. Well, we were what they're doing over. I had Rooker in 1979, 1879. So for like 72. And going. Agus carpenter. Adu leabhar agus a scáil. Ach bhfuil scríomh a lítear na béna fáinne chaid. Grade 10, grade 11. Bhí fáinne sin a bhí lítear ach a bhí scríomh bhad sin go mear cos an lítear a scríomh. Agus bhaidir féidir bhá fáin len do leabhar sa scáil a dú leabhar ag go héin. Agus rinne living in the chéirsteach. A gopa sa chéirsteach most of the time. Agus bhean bhfuil suas buildings. Agus rinne aftar sa nécuis in Glendale. Agus bhí ga déanna cíisteachn a chóchacht fáin bhí a déanna cíisteachn. Ag an taid. Bhí ga déanna árainn, rinne árainn ag a héin swachan ach an túr. Agus sinna an stop it. An tárainn a rainn a that dúir at cúra go Benish. Agus ar bhhat ar an dáis rinne an tárainn so mi dhéine Benish. A paila an tárainn beo has. Tárainn Cambridge. Let me Connie Uncle's mant an oige. Agus is séú gonna go chatal go an lepi. Bhadúlan chatalach me héin agus ó me brain who was at a wofty. Agus na bhí fáinne kosher sechat ar an dagast. Ó an saláitsig an dagast. Fadú duine san taobh a thul duine na chadú. Tá hecinn is séú sé chógáil na henir. Agus bad taobh a thús ar a bhóftis, bad a brain ar a bhófti fan a míise ag an éirig I cúideach. Agus hómi in an brain náichead. Ag in a heras, hómi náichead daich a dáis sin.
We wanted the old man to, if it be good enough to keep the horse for the winter because he was scarce of hay and he told him he would. So anyway, he wintered him and then in the 1st of December, Big Hugh, he came over. He wanted the horse to take him back and the father told him, no, you're not getting the horse because my mother came from Queensville and she never got anything from Queensville. I'm going to keep the horse. So Big Hugh was kind of mad over it. So anyway, the old man gave him a drinking. And it didn't take much effect on Hughie. So anyway, Hughie told him the stuff he had was no good. Well, I'll give him good stuff, the old man says. And he gave him the first that came out of the pot, and it was just strong as dynamite. So he gave Hughie a drink of it, you know. And, it went to his head, and then when they were going in, you know, on the door, Hughie was seeing fire ahead of him. And trying to get in, and he couldn't get in. At last, the old man had to get behind him and shove him in.
Oh, geez.
So anyway, whenever the old man, years before he got married, Big Ronald McClellan used to go up with him and stay with him night.
Can you tell this one in Gaelic, Grandpa?
He was brought up at Archie McCarthy's. So anyway, this night they were going to bed, and the old man had a barrel of flour in the hall, full of flour. And when Big Ron was going by the barrel, he put his 2 fingers under the top staves of the barrel.
Yeah.
And he raised it up off the floor. So anyway, they went to bed, and the old man noticed what he did, He made him an excuse to Big Ron that he was thirsty, he was going down for a drink of water. He wanted to try it himself, So he did, and he said he couldn't put wind under it. So Big Ron had all the strength in his fingers, and in his arms.
Yeah.
So anyway, another time the old man and Peter McCahan, they went to Port Hawkesbury. So anyway, they went to Peter Paint's on the lower street then. He had a store, he had everything, and then he had a warehouse down below the tracks where he had his barrels of flour and bags of flour and everything. So the old man said, well, I got everything now, but I got to get a barrel of flour and bring it home. So Peter Peg told him, oh, well, he said, you might as well take down the horse and get the horse and wagon, and the barrel is down across the tracks. Oh, no, I guess he said, I won't bother, I'll throw it on my shoulder. The other fellow looked at him and he started laughing. He thought he was crazy. So anyway, himself and Peter R. went down, and the old man got hold of the barrel of flour, put it on the shoulder and walked up against the hill and dropped it in the back of the wagon. Well, Peter R. was saying, I thought I was strong. But my God, I couldn't do that, he said.
Yeah. How much do you think it weighed?
And Angus McCabe could do the same.
Yeah.
He'd take a barrel of flour on his shoulder and walk. When they had the old house, and it was up on the side of the hill, not where the new house is now.
Mm.
And he'd leave the horse, or the wagon at the bar down below, and put the barrel of flour on his shoulder, walk up against the hill and put it in the house. He was strong too.
Angus, how would he be related to Jimmy?
His father.
His father?
McKay's father.
And how much do you think the barrel weighed?
Oh, well, something over 200 pounds.
Yeah. It's a good lift.
With the stave and all. Yeah, but look how hard it was and how hard it was to keep it on your shoulder.
Yeah.
They had a sawmill there at the house. They were living up they had the sawmill up at the gravel pit, then. And the home was where the Royakers are. That's where they were living, And they had a sawmill. So anyway, John Willie McCahon went with a load of logs. His father sent him with a load of logs, hemlock logs, and they were big and awful heavy, So anyway, the way they got them on the wagon before they left, they took the hind wheels off the wagon, and put blocks under the axle, They couldn't put them over. They were too big and heavy. So anyway, they got them on, and he went, and they were sawing when he got to the mill. So Ronald McLeod came out and looked at the logs and kind of laughed, and he said, they're kind of big, he said to John Willie. Yes, they're big. All right, John Willie said. So he went and he's got a hold of one of them, and John Willie was going to help him. Oh, he said, no, you're too young for this kind of work. He said, no, I'll handle them myself. So we got a hold of the first log, and he slid it right ahead to clear the hind wheel of the wagon, and he laid it right on the front wheel of the wagon, and then he got a hold of it by the mill, and he walked over to the mill and dropped it right. John Willie was saying that he was handling them logs the same as he'd be handling fence posts. Nothing to it.
Mm.
Another time, Duncan Robb from Maple Brook, Alec Dee's father, he used to work there a lot. So anyway, we sent Ranald after there was snow on this day. We sent Ranald after the cows, and when Ranald came home, there was one of the cows missing. And we asked him, "What's wrong now? What happened? Is one of the cows missing?" "Oh, she's in a bog down there on the edge of the land." We says, "Well, I suppose we'll have to get a horse now and put a rope on her and pull her out." So Ranald said, "You can't do anything there with a horse. If you go in there with a horse, he's going to see, same as the cow." "Well, how are we going to get her out?" So we said, "Well, if you and Duncan will take down a good load of plank, and we'll make a plat for her in where she is, and I think I can pull her out." So anyway, that got the load, and they made the platform, right down where the cow wasn't. Ranald got a hold of her by the horns, started pulling her. She was coming little by little. At last, he landed her on the platform.
Yeah.
And Duncan Robb asked him, "Was she heavy?" He said to him. "Oh no, I didn't mind that. The only thing I was scared of, I'd pull the horns out of her. I was hearing them cracking."
You think, yeah?
If he had a jerk like that, he would have pulled the horns out of her head,
Oh, geez.
Isn't that all?
Yeah.
Archie Alex Chisholm, he was in the First World War, and he was attending a machine gun with 200-pound shells, lifting them and putting them in the barrel. And the concussion of the shock of it, his ears used to get sore and then bleed. So that was all right. He came home from the war, nothing happening, and he got his mind went, and he was sent to Mago. And there was a McDonald who was there in Mago. No, he was up to Father McClennis before then, and they were fencing this day. And driving posts, and Archie was driving, smashing on the posts. At the last of it, there was only about a foot of it sticking out the ground, and the poor fellow, the mine went and they sent him down to Mago. And they were going to shift him from Mago to Halifax. So anyway, Matthew Chisholm and Father McLennan gave a warning to the keeper of the asylum in Mago, MacDonald, not to go alone with him, to let them know whenever the day that he'd be going with him. So they'd go too. And MacDonald didn't do that. He was going to handle him anyway. So anyway, when he got to Antigonish, I guess Archie Alec wanted to get off the train at Antigonish. And I guess the train must have been moving or something. But anyway, MacDonald kept him, but got a hold of him, but he wasn't strong enough for Archie Alec. He took the sleeves right out of his coat, and Archie Alec got clear, and he dropped under the wheels, and he was killed, cut up in pieces. Not awful. Huey and I went to a dance near Hastings there. And he had a little black mare, you know, and her steps were very short and fast. So anyway, now and again he'd turn to me and he'd say, "John, can you count the trees?" He was going so fast, the mare was going so fast, you know, that I wouldn't have time to count the trees. "John, can you count the trees?" Poor Huey. I danced very well. I think it was near Jim Hector's, I forget. But anyway, Dan Huey, big Dan Huey McKechnie and John R. were playing the violin.
Janara, my granduncle?
Yes, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
We both played together.
Yeah.
I remember that. Well, that's a hell of a long time ago.
Was there any back then, was there any fights at the dances?
Huh?
Back then, was there any fights at the dances?
No?
No?
See.
When did that go ahead, sir?
That was over near Jim Hector's there. You were turning up. You were going up the main road down to Father's house.
Hmm.
I think they were Macquarie's.
Yeah.
It was just a kitchen racket, you know. John R. was a better player than that Huey was.
Is that right? Yeah.
Oh, yes. John R. and I went to catechism together.
Yeah.
Yeah, he stayed up. I remember one time he came up with me from catechism and he stayed all night. We went up to the mountain after the cows. And we went to catechism the next day. He went home. He had a long walk.
Was he the one who died of the consumption?
Huh?
Did he die of the consumption?
He died with TB, yes.
Yeah.
Poor fellow, yeah.
He hit his head on the windowsill just before
Huh?
I guess he hit his head on the windowsill just before he died. The day before or something like that.
Oh, I never heard
Yeah.
that. Well, poor fellow.
Do you remember Janangus?
No, I didn't know him at
Oh
all.
no, you wouldn't know him. He went away to the war.
No, didn't know him. Jannar had the window up. He was kind of choking. If you wouldn't pulled him to one side, you closed the window.
Yeah.
He didn't have much respect for him, I guess.
No sympathy, no.
I was at his fielder too.
Yeah. Do you remember what year that was?
Yeah, no, I don't remember. I came over. The Nazi Yagani was there too. And I just came. We had a horse and wagon. And I came to the end of McCall's Road there with them. And they were going up the mountain. And I was going up with them. I walked home.
Yeah.
Huh?
There was.
Well, I know Angus Neil wasn't making it.
Well, wasn't he making it
Huh?
and he quit it and
What?
wasn't it in Father McPherson's time that he was making it and he wanted to quit it when they had the League of the Cross.
Yes, well,
But he quit it when he started again.
well, Doctor, he did. No, I don't think so.
What's
Wait now.
What's the League of the Cross?
See,
That's
one time there,
All right.
I heard the old man telling. You know, old Father McIsaac, he wasn't against liquor anyway.
No.
So anyway, he was over in Judith. He went over one time there to see old Father Archie. And of course, old Father Archie always used to have liquor, you know. He'd have it under the bed, you see. He told Father McIsaac that and he had whiskey or good moonshine and take a drink of it, you know, before he'd go to bed. That it would be good for him, you know, take one drink like that, you see. So anyway, he didn't, the old man wasn't making it, then he quit it, and the McCushers weren't making it, nobody was making it. So anyway, he spoke to the old man about it, what the other fellow said. So the old man said to him, if you think it would do you any good, he said, I'm not making it now, but I could make a little run and I'd give you a bottle, he said, or something. So by God, he did. He did make a run, and he ran the stuff twice, you know. He always used to run it twice anyway. It's good. So anyway, he gave the bottle to old Father McIsaac. The old man told him, try it and see if it's any good. Took a drink of it. Ah, yes, it's good, he said, it's good. Make enough of it, he said. Make enough of it. I don't know if the old man made that much of it. Well, yes, he did make quite a bit. And then, I guess when Father McPherson came to the parish, he knew, you know, the old man was making it. So anyway, he approached the old man and mentioned it to him. The old man says, yes, I'm making it, he says. I have quite a bit on hand now, he said.
Yeah.
I suppose made it bigger than it was, you know. And he asked him, how much did he have? Oh, the old man says, maybe 20 gallons or something. Oh, good God. That's an awful. Oh, he said, spill it out. Oh, the old man says, no, I won't do that, but I'll tell you what I'll do. When I sell it all, it costs me something to make it, and molasses and everything. When I sell it all, I'm through with it then, he said. Well, maybe there wasn't much anyway. You know?
Yeah.
So anyway, every now and again, Father McPherson would see him. Any of that left yet? He said to the old man. Oh yes, there's a little, but it's going pretty good. Ah, that's good. So anyway, he finally told him that it was all gone, no more, and I'm not going to make any more. And he didn't when Father McPherson was in the family.
Father McPherson wanted to put the run to it, did he?
Oh, well, he didn't want to have the moonshine in the place, you know. But one time, you know, there was a fellow in Judic there, back in Judic. Between Judic and the mountain, you know. He was selling whiskey. There was no, they were all selling whiskey then, in that days. They were selling it up in the corner here at Ellis and all over, you know, Big Peter and all of them. They could get it from Kelly and Grassy in Halifax, you know. So anyway, Father McPherson, you know, heard about it, and I guess he figured, well, that there might have been people, you know, from Glendale going over there and dying it, you see. But by God, didn't he start this evening, and he got to the house, it was just getting dusk, you know, and he pulled his collar up and everything. He asked the other fellow for a pint. Whiskey, the other fellow gave him the pint, and he paid for it. And away he goes down to Father Archie's in Judic. Show him what he got from one of his parishioners.
Yeah.
So, oh my God, Father Archie lit on him.
Yeah.
He told him he was a poor man. The only thing that was keeping him alive was the little money he was making on that to get him something to eat. And he said, the best thing you can do, go home and look after your own parish, and I'll look after mine. Didn't he say good to him?
Yeah.
So by God, one time then the old man went over, and old Father Archie was telling him about Father McPherson. You just think him coming over, you're telling me what to do. So anyway, that was all right. And one day at the church, Father McPherson asked the old man if he'd go over to Judic with him someday he'd like to make his confession. You know, they confessed to each other.
Oh, yeah.
The old man said, sure, I'll go over. He had a damn good roadster too. So anyway, Father McPherson met him at church, you know, this Sunday, and he said, asked him if he'd go over tomorrow. And the old man said, yes, I'll go over. So he did. He took him over. Oh, the first thing, when he got over, listen to the cracking, that's frost.
Yeah.
First thing, you know, Father McPherson, he went over to the barn, you know, spying around. They had a farm then in Judith, you know. And yeah, the other fellow noticed him, you know, going up to the barn. He went into the bedroom, got a bottle of rum, you know, or a water glass, put about that much in it. Here, drink that before he's gone. The old man told him, oh God, I've been drinking. I said, no, I said, that won't hurt you. The old man drank it on, they were talking and talking, and the other fellow wasn't coming, and they finally seen a moment, you know. He jumped in and got the bottle again, poured another big drink. The old man didn't want to take it at all. He said, good, the fool going on now. The other drink is dying out anyway, excuse. So by God, they started, you know. And of course, Father McPherson could smell the liquor of the old man, you know. And he knew damn well the old man didn't have any going. So anyway, they were coming down the mountain, you know. Even a moonlight night coming down the mountain, you know, with the trees. It was kind of dark, you know. So anyway, the Father McPherson was scared coming down the mountain to tell the old man, gee, yeah, you think you're going a little too high or something. No, get along good. So anyway, they got down to the foot of the mountain, and Father McPherson said, my gosh, I think it was dark coming down there. You know, I was scared enough to go off the road. Oh, I didn't mind it, the old man said. I could see the road as plain as day. I mean, not seeing a thing. Could you? He said, yeah, I could see the road. He drove down to the Glee Mountain. He never opened his mouth. He knew it was a trick the other fellow played. Yeah. He wanted to get it in on him, you know. He had a horse and wagon, you know. Old Father McIsaac. Old Father Archie too. So anyway, he was coming along, you know, with the horse and wagon, and he noticed this fellow coming with a horse and cart, you know. And the road in them days was so damn narrow. There, you know, it was only just a little narrow road, you see. And he never went off the road at all. The other fellow had to go out with the horse and cart in the alders, among the alders. It was bad, you know. So anyway, he had his collar up. The other fellow didn't know, you know, he was a priest or anything. Started questioning the other fellow, where was he from, and what was he doing, and all of that, making a living. So anyway, he turned around and he asked Father Archie, where was he from? Oh, I'm from Antigonish, Father Archie said. Well, man, it's the stuff that ever came from Antigonish. Get out. He can't go. He never knew he was a priest at all. He was mad anyway because he didn't give him half the road, you know. Shema Antigonish, he said. Here, following the McLeans. Some clan of the McLeans.
Yeah.
Man on the grey horse and no head on him.
Where's that at now?
Oh, I don't know. Scotland, I guess.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah, it belongs to the McLeans of Dewar. Yeah.
I got this violin from Alec the Killer. Alec McDowell from West Bay Road. And this violin was repaired in Boston in 18 What was it now? 1820.
26.
Huh?
1826.
1826.
Yeah,
1826. So it must be pretty old.
I guess, yeah.
Even the slip is inside of it.
Yeah.
What's it going on? Did you get that, Jeffrey?
Yeah. Was in maar.
Huh?
Was in maar.
That's all right. Next step on the left of it. Oh, yeah, that's hard work, man.
That's good.
I got it good. Ik is say, lady.
Ken nou Gianna?
Ah, Cleva. Hij kan voeren, die nog wel.
Ik weet railtje.
Ja.
Jij wou Gianna van Jew.
Nou, hallo, zie aan die Sevriak.
Ook voor je nieuw.
Wel, is gooi die pas naar daar. Hoi.
Vaak het doen Jew.
Ja.
Vaak het doen in Jew.
Anach met doen, anach.
Ook breng je tegen.
Ja, voor een han er more aan travel om behoort zich al aan gaan vertellen.
Ja, zo mooi vat wat meer voor.
Ja.
Zo mooi vat wat meer voor.
Hallo, ik zal je schreeuwen. En mijn dood kan dat je gaat er met z'n leven, ja, van dit waarom ik dood niet. Ja.
Doe de puchtmeel en zo.
Ja, te horen.
Zit maken die
Dat gaat me goed, en je was waar, kan je er zo'n stierwacht en een kerel zo holen zien. Het is awesome.
Kom
Als
aan.
nog aangoed. Ja, nee, ook het wat te gaan van de
Dan gooi je niet ook, hè?
Hoi.
Dan gooi je maar.
Hallo, extra, hallo. Als nog aan.
Door dat teken dat je.
Hoor. Ja, Open jij wakker echt al lucht. Ja, kan gooi koeten gaan mijn kindje. Hij kraakt het je mond naar huis. Huh?
Ja. Jack Frost staat dit hier nog.
Ja, precies.
Jouw door Janne gemeenig.
Ja, mijn kindje gewend je hoe aan je goed. Hartelijk ja.
Weet je, die nacht.
Gedaan is. Waarnes arbeid.
Hij was.
Die had al een reus gezien.
Aan de McNeese kooi. Para
Oh,
McNeese
had ik geweten.
luchtdoor.
Kon je zien uit de radio.
Zo,
Had maak ook koeike daar.
Jim, een pipeband, I could een bounce it. Je hoort ze zien. Jerry, het al zie is.
Cool.
Jerry, McGinnis.
Oh, wij.
Ze gaat in de in de wakerij, kun je.
Dat zie je ze hitten.
Should ik?
Goed, oh ja.